If there's anything I know about manifesting the life you desire, it's that the journey there often looks a lot different to what you imagined it would be. I'm talking setbacks, uncertainty, impatience, and even boredom sometimes. But then every so often, you get a win that makes everything so worth it and reminds you why you started in the first place. And also gives you fuel to keep going. What most people don't realize is that these moments aren't signs that you're doing anything wrong or nothing's happening. And by the end of this video, you should have a whole new perspective on challenges and setbacks. Because in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 quiet but common signs that you're already becoming your future self right now. And if you stick around to the end, I'll be sharing some of the things that I did and still do that will help give you such a boost towards your ideal life. But for now, let's get into the first sign. You feel emotionally all over the place. Once you've made the conscious decision to make a change in your life and you start actually doing it, your conscious and your subconscious mind begin to fight, because your conscious mind wants change because you've made that decision to make the change. But your subconscious mind wants safety. It will always want safety. And your subconscious mind is like, no, thank you. That means we're going to have to be stepping out of comfort zones and stepping into the unknown, which is freaking scary. And I want to keep you safe. I want to keep us safe. So we're staying here. When you look at it like that, it kind of becomes a little bit more obvious as to why your emotions are flying all over the place. And things that kind of enhance that are obviously things that are going on in your life, whether that's to do with family, work, friends, or health, all sorts. So what do you do about this? How do you get back to a state of alignment? Well, truth be told, you're probably still in alignment because, as we've just discovered, the process is uncomfortable. You just have to keep thinking the thoughts and doing the things that align with who you feel your future self is. Because repeated thoughts and repeated actions over a period of time create new habits, new behaviors, new opportunities, but also creates your new normal. There's no switch to go from where you are now to where you want to be. It's only when you look back, you see how much you've changed. Basically, your brain needs a bit of time to get used to this new version of you. So keep going. You feel more sensitive to people, environments, and/or energy. This was one of the very first things that I noticed on my own journey, hitting a whole new level of self-awareness. I became aware of who and what drained me, but just as importantly, who and what gave me that energy back, who recharged me. And that's when I realized something that made me feel a bit uncomfortable. I wasn't choosing a lot of things in my life. I wasn't consciously choosing things. I was tolerating things. And it almost felt like I was a supporting character of my own story, when in reality, you're meant to be the lead role of your own life. This level of self-awareness is a clear sign that you're already becoming your future self now. Because once you start taking responsibility for your own life, you start noticing things you wouldn't have if you didn't start taking action in the first place or making change in the first place. Because you're operating from a different frequency, a higher one. And from that place, you naturally start questioning everything your old self used to accept without thinking. Bad habits, unhelpful behaviors, and the big one for me was certain social triggers. So you begin to pull back on the things that your old self used to do by making new conscious choices that are different, like getting your gym kit out ready the night before, or say no to certain social events to avoid certain social triggers, or making mocktails instead of pouring a glass of wine. All these things don't necessarily happen all at once, but those consistent choices build belief in yourself until you no longer need that old habit at all. You feel both pulled and scared at the same time. Whoever believes that manifesting their dream life is easy is in for a short, sharp shock. It's safe to say that you will face challenges and you will step out of your comfort zone, and that is uncomfortable. Because when you're expanding your world, it's very common for fear and expansion to coexist. And this goes back to what we were talking about when it comes to the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind wants safety, and it will do everything in its best powers to try and get you back to the familiar, because familiar is safe. This one took me a little while to settle with, because Feeling scared is scary, and you will do anything you can not to feel that burning chest, dry throat, about to cry feeling. But my perspective changed when I started coaching. I remember feeling so excited, but absolutely terrified at the same time. Excited because it felt aligned to my future self, but terrified because imposter syndrome kicked in hard. I remember thinking, what if I can't help this person? The worst one was, what if I'm not ready for this? But I realized something as I kept going. The fear wasn't there because I was doing something wrong. It was there because I was doing something new. And I did not become confident in my abilities overnight. I became better by doing the things I was scared to do. And with every session, every conversation, every lesson learned, that fear softened. And the truth is, I still get scared when something really matters to me. I still feel that pull forward mixed with fear, but the difference now is that I don't see it as a stop sign, I see it as information. I know what it means, and now so do you. Because when fear shows up alongside excitement, it's usually pointing you towards something that's actually good for you, not something to run away from. And that's a big part of what becoming your future self feels like. Before we wrap up, I'll walk you through some of the tools that I use and I've put in place in my life that helps me move forward towards the life that I'm manifesting, the life that I desire, even when fear is still there. The first one is meditation and creative visualization. Not to escape my reality. I don't do it to escape my reality. I do it to remind myself of who I am becoming, so fear doesn't get the final say. And there's loads of guided meditations you can do on YouTube, and they're all so brilliant. I even want to make some of my own. So if you would like a guided meditation from me, please let me know in the comments, because the more people that comment that they want something, they're going to get it. The second one is tracking my thoughts as much as I can, whether that's on paper or on a notes page, because I just think if you can see your thoughts written down, the less of a chance they have running on autopilot in the background of your life, because it gives you the opportunity to make conscious decisions to change those patterns, because you're always reminded of them because they're written down. So definitely one worth doing. And the third one is keeping a weekly journal. It's just a chance for me to reflect, recalibrate, and really notice progress I would have otherwise missed. And that's why it's so important just to write things down, because you're just always reminded of it, and it just keeps you in that kind of bubble of growth. So yeah, nothing complicated, just some simple tools that I use consistently that keeps me aligned while I grow, really. And that brings us to the end of the video. So if you're still here watching, then thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know in the comments if any of these signs resonated with you. I'd love to hear about it. And if you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe, because there's a lot more coming around manifestation, limiting beliefs, identity shifts, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and happy manifesting.